Welcome to our channel. A secret is revealed, a moment that leaves the whole family frozen in shock. When Tomas enters his familiar home, he doesn't expect to witness something that could shatter the closest relationships. Fairmont Crest is shaken again, and this time, no one can escape the aftershocks. Tomas returns home earlier than expected after a long day immersed in stressful work at the art gallery, where he still tries to find artistic inspiration amid the pressure and fatigue. But as the front door closes behind him, a strange feeling immediately spreads in the space. The house is not as usual, not the usual quiet, nor the familiar bustle when guests come to visit. Instead, there is an atmosphere that is oppressive, vague and difficult to explain, causing Tomas to stand still for a few seconds. The music was still coming from upstairs. Not too loud but enough to draw his attention. It was like jazz, a little wistful, a little sad. But it was the hurried, clattering footsteps that seemed to be running away from something that echoed from above that really alerted him. Tomas called Kat's name, hesitant and reserved, but there was no response. The silence that responded confused him even more. He called again, louder, but still no answer. His intuition told him that something was wrong. Each step was hurried, his heart beating abnormally as if his body knew something in advance, even though his mind tried to deny it. He walked up the stairs, each step seemed to last forever. And the tension in him grew with each passing second. When he got closer to Kat's room, the door was ajar, making him even more suspicious. From the small opening, Tomas stopped, and at that moment, the world seemed to shatter before his eyes. He stood still, his heart stopped. Inside the room, Kat was hugging a strange woman. But it was not the usual hug between friends, family, or the usual comfort after a long day. It was a passionate, affectionate hug, intertwined with longing and intimacy, a connection that could not be mistaken for anything other than love. Kat's eyes were closed, her hands clasped tightly around the woman's back, while the distance between them disappeared completely. It was all clear and undeniable. Unmistakable. Tomas was stunned, feeling as if his life had been drained. A wave of dizziness hit him, forcing him to hold onto the wall for balance. He did not step forward or say anything. He just turned away silently, retreating step by step in a suffocating shock. His face was pale, his eyes lifeless as he walked down the stairs. Images came flooding back, unexpectedly. The times Kat avoided him when he mentioned his lover. The strong reactions when he joked about her seeming picky about men. The moments when she suddenly changed the subject. And especially the uneasy look that always flashed across his face whenever he asked about love affairs. Each fragment of memory was now like a puzzle piece of a picture that Tomas had never seen completely. That picture was now complete, and the truth made him unable to breathe. But what hurt Tomas was not the nature of Kat's love for someone of the same sex. No. What hurt him deeply was that she had hidden it from him, the person who had always been by her side. The person who had accompanied her through the storms of her family, the person who had thought that they no longer had any secrets between them. To Tomas, this truth was not a betrayal, but a silent but deep cut into the trust he had placed in her. He walked out of the house, breathing heavily as if every breath of air carried the pain that was gnawing at his soul. His eyes stared blankly at the distant horizon, where the sun was slowly disappearing behind the dark purple clouds. Inside him, a storm was forming, quiet but fierce. There was no anger, no resentment, only a growing void between two people who had once seemed inseparable. Tomas walked on, leaving behind the house where an incident had just occurred that was enough to crack everything he had believed in. At Fairmont Crest, where secrets were like time bombs waiting to explode. The truth this time continued to tear apart the false curtain of peace. The Dupree Richardson family, already on the cusp of a whirlwind, was now facing a new aftershock. Tomas told no one. He kept his pain to himself, but the change in his eyes, the way he walked, the way he stopped calling Kat's name in the mornings, were all clear signs that something had broken inside him. And as everyone in the family began to notice the unusual coldness between the two people who had been closest to him, the questions began to arise. But Tomas didn't speak, and Kat didn't explain. The atmosphere in the house became thick with furtive glances, whispers behind her back, and a long, uncomfortable silence. Kat tried to stay calm. But Tomas's eyes, though no longer reproachful, were like a silent judgment that kept her awake at night. Although she didn't regret her love. Being discovered in such a situation made her feel naked, exposed before the person she once trusted the most. In the following days, Tomas buried himself in his work more. He came to the gallery earlier and left later. His paintings gradually changed from warm tones to cold, dark, and complex ones. Each brushstroke seemed to carry a part of his disintegrating soul. The people who came to the gallery noticed the change, but no one dared to ask. Meanwhile, Kat began to withdraw into herself. She avoided family gatherings, citing work or unwellness. She spent more time with the woman she loved, as if seeking refuge from Tomas's gaze and the growing gossip in their small community. But no secret lasts forever in Fairmont Crest. When things began to leak out through gossip, when a few neighbors began whispering about an unnatural relationship, the pressure mounted on both of them. Kat felt surrounded by implicit judgment. Tomas, though silent, felt the pain he carried in every averted glance, every forced smile when someone mentioned Kat. In a place where family had been the only safe haven after so much loss. The breakdown of their relationship was a shock. And although no one argued, no one cried or broke into a fight. The silence between the two closest people was the clearest evidence of a rift that could not be easily mended. Tomas understood that feelings could not be forced. He was not angry that Kat loved a woman. He just could not believe that he, the one who had always been by her side through all the events, would be the last person to know the most important secret in her life. In a small community like Fairmont Crest, where every glance could be a double-edged sword, this secret would not only affect the brotherhood but could also be the spark for bigger troubles waiting ahead. But even so, Tomas remained silent. He knew that not everything needed to be said to be resolved. There were pains that could only be healed by time. There were relationships that needed distance to heal. And sometimes, even if the relationship is damaged, there is still a chance to heal when both sides are willing to face the truth and forgive each other. But that day is probably still far away. Because now, everything between Tomas and Kat is left with nameless silences, strange looks, and a secret exposed in the most heartbreaking way. And in Fairmont Crest, where every hidden corner hides an untold story, Kat's secret is no longer the only thing that makes people whisper behind their backs. In the darkness of a seemingly peaceful town, each secret is exposed like a wound turned upside down, forcing the people involved to face pain, loss, and themselves. Tomas and Kat are no longer inseparable companions. A moment of revealing the truth is enough to shatter everything that seemed eternal. But can they overcome the growing rift, or will the silence be the thing that buries this relationship forever? At Fairmont Crest, once the mask falls, the consequences are unpredictable. And this could be just the beginning of a series of even more shocking events ahead. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the latest, most shocking, and breathtaking episodes from Beyond the Gates, where nothing is random. And no secret stays hidden forever.